Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to another Monday Morning Art Talk. I'm Steven Silver, character designer and teacher, dedicated to helping you learn about the art industry and living up to your potential. Whippy! So this is what I feel pretty certain that I know for sure is just that one thing always leads to another. It's just the way it is. One thing always leads to another. And that's where a lot of my topic's gonna go today. For instance, what I want to talk about is before I get started with that, for those of you guys who are watching YouTube, stay tuned at the end because, I'm very grateful. I'm in a situation where I was offered to test out a product. Hey, this company was going to send me out a product because they want to see how I'm going to react to it. It's about value. And this is just a very important thing. It's just like a company saw value in sending something to me for me to try it out. And I think this is what we always got to remember with everything that we ever do with our art, when we're working for clients. What value is it? Always, you got to think about this. But so they had sent me this product. And so I did I've never done it before. I did my first ever real product review. And I show that at the very end so you can watch that if you like. But what I want to talk about today is how one thing sort of leads to another is I was listening to this guy, if you're familiar with him, his name was Earl Nightingale. He's got so many, he's no longer on this planet, but he's done so many videos that you can find and just listen to. And again, I always encourage people, and I know you guys, as you listen to this, you're listening to different people talk. And that's what you should do. You should listen to as many people as you can talk, whatever's sort of working for you and feeling it. So as Earl Nightingale was talking, he brought up this thing. He just said, what good is accomplishment if there's nobody to share it, right? And okay, yeah, pretty common, right? You start, these things you don't really think about. You go, what good is accomplishment if there's no one there to share it with you? So I think about this. I'm like, what does that really mean? What does that really mean? How can I kind of break this down in my own internal mind? And what it comes down to is it's the whole purpose and reason for sharing. Imagine if what good would it be? I don't know, it's award season right now. Whippy! Awards. I only say that jokingly, but also it's funny because no one remembers. It's funny because I always watch and listen to people's reactions. No one seems to care about the other person really winning their award because it's not them. It's like you hear, there was this one, it was after an Academy Award, it's like everyone's in the beginning, everyone loves you. Congratulations, great job. All of a sudden you don't win. Crickets, no one tells you anything anymore, and then you're in this defeat and you feel robbed or you feel this and that, and it's just like, oh my god, what a disaster, just over an award. But anyway, let's just say with the awards, getting an Academy Award, if there was no cameras, if there was no papers, if there were no people to clap and pretend to love at you at that moment, if there was none of that, would it even matter? No, I just don't think it would. And you start to go, what would matter if based on that, what good is accomplishment if there's nobody there to share it with? What would it matter? What would the joyful things be? What would it mean if we were, built a home and had this vacation and everything, but we did it all alone and there was nothing to share it with? There was, to share, hey, look what I've accomplished, what I've maintained, but there's no one to share it with. So coming to that sort of conclusion in my mind, I realized, how important it is to share. It's an extremely important thing to share. And I think this is why social media has worked. This is why Facebook became that platform and, all these other ones prior, and people more and more, this is the culture we live in. We live in a world where sharing is important because it gives us it gives us the opportunity to show our accomplishment, and that's part of something that we all have to have in our lives. There's no escaping it. And almost like what Earl Nightingale, this is what awesome, how one thing leads to another. He was talking, he mentioned this guy, and I don't really understand people's names all the time when they mention them. And he mentioned this guy, oh my God, where do I even have it written down? I'm going to write it down, but I believe it's, oh yeah, Abraham Maslow. Dr. Abraham Maslow, who studied psychology and all that. And in all the books, he sort of, now it's like written. This is written in all the psychology books and different things about what humans need and the stages. So it's called like the Maslow Hierarchy. And that's what it is. And it's like this little pyramid thing. For those of you guys that are just listening on Spotify, YouTunes, just, you know, research it, check it out. But so this is the first thing that we all need. Again, this is why sharing is going to be important, and why, you know, why we want to accomplish things as we're going to do in life. It's just natural, but how we act on it. So the first thing is what he talks about, the basic needs, and that fits like these two different categories, these two different tiers, the basic needs that we all need. So, and as I'm saying this, I want you to think about the reality that if you think you're going through this uncertainty, or you're not unsure what you want to do, or everyone's going through it, okay? If anything, this is what you need to understand. The non-artists, everyone's going through this. But the basic needs of the human being are physiological needs. So in regards to, we need food, we need water, we need clothing, we need rest, and we need security, and we need safety. These are primal things that we need, because do we care about winning an award if we have no food on the table? Absolutely not. Would you care about winning an award if you're trying to feed yourself and feed your family? No, priority number one is feed yourself, get you fed, have the security, have those needs. This is basic number one, so nothing else matters, okay? So once you've met those basic primal needs, the next thing is the psychological needs that we all have. And what are those two things? Number one is the belongingness and love needs. That is intimate relationships, friends, social media. You know, we need to feel love. We need to feel appreciated. We need to be seen. We need to be heard. It's just part of human existence. Is that this is what almost makes us feel like we've accomplished something or done something in our lives. If we can do things, and this is why we're constantly striving and aiming to accomplish things, really, why we want the children's book, why we want our books, why we want to be an art director on a movie, why we want to be associated with that film, why do we want this, why do we want that, why do we want things to satisfy our own sort of needs of accomplishment. And then at the end of the day, we hope that people are gonna look back and, you know, and give us praise for it, because that's what we need too, unfortunately. The reality is, you want to eventually be able to let go of that praise and know that that's not why you're doing it. That's not the real purpose of why you're trying to get to where you're at, just so that someone can pat you on the back, because you'll ultimately learn that that's not what's going to give you happiness. That's not what's going to give you joy. You know, we see it thousands and thousands of times with just different people, multimillionaires, actors, you know, who are just miserable. And I know some very rich people who are miserable. They just that you can tell there's so much internal stuff going on in their head. They got all the money, you know, but it doesn't matter. And it's just, there was a great quote by Jim Carrey. I think he said, I wish everyone could be rich and famous just to realize how it's not cracked up what it's supposed to be. And it's people go, oh yeah, that's easy for you to say, but the bottom line is, like the guy said, yeah, it is easy for him to say, and who else can say it? He's the only guy that can say it, because he's there. He's living amongst those people and amongst those circles. He knows. I see it. I see these people. Again, they have all this thing. So the thing is that that's something that we need. Okay, fine. We need that. We know that. We needed it as children. If we didn't have it as children, it was going to affect us later on in life, and many of us it did, who didn't have that nurturing, loving relationship. It's like it's not there. All right, esteem needs. That's the next thing, is a prestige and feeling of accomplishment. You know, so Here it is again with the accomplishment. You need to feel that. And then the last tier, which is like the top tier that you guys can see there, which takes up a third. So it's almost broken into thirds here because there's these 3 tiers. And the third one is what they call self-actualization. And self-actualization is achieving one's full potential, including creative activities. So that's when you have hurdled through all this. You've met your food needs, you're meeting your social needs, your esteem needs, all these things. You're doing all these things, and eventually now you get to that place where you've achieved it all and you start to get more creative. That's the goal. Now, if a lot of these things are holding you up, if you're in a place in your life where you need food, don't be worrying about buying a computer, okay? It's like, these are certain things. I mean, maybe I'll take that back. Maybe you're getting that computer because that's going to launch you to start providing. Who knows? But the reality is you just kind of like need to follow those, understand those certain needs, but not get so bogged down by them that they're not going to take you to that place of creativity. Because eventually, once you start to go, you know what? It doesn't matter so much what I'm feeding myself. Do I have food on the table? Yeah. Can I go to a restaurant? Yeah. You know, these are questions you ask yourself. Are you capable of doing that? Can you go out with friends? Do you have a roof over your head? Yes, I do. Okay, good. Now you can move on to the next thing because you have been able to accomplish those needs. The next thing that you're going to, your belongingness and love. Are you finding that? Do you have that, in your life? Is it something you're surrounded by? Is it something you're searching for? And these are things that you decide, got to understand at that moment that, yeah, this is something that I just kind of is really important, but I'm not going to let it take me down and not let me be creative and not let me get out of bed in the morning and not let me do all these things because I don't have that. Again, you're stopping yourself from opening up the full Pandora's box of creativity because that's what's awaiting at the very top. That's where people say all the time, where do I get my ideas from? Why isn't it natural? Why don't I have this? It's because oftentimes you haven't met those other needs. You've met the food need. You've met the safety need. You've met, maybe not feeling safe and secure because you're not making enough money. Again, these are the sort of needs. Security is a job. You got to have the job. So again, looking at these needs, it sort of opens up a different mindset that say, keep trying to number one, know that everyone's in the same place. Everyone's in this exact same place. You're no different we're no different. We're all humans. We're all from this planet. None of us are aliens that we've discovered yet, that we've found out. I'm sure at some point soon, someone's going to unveil themselves and reveal that they were an alien all along. And we'll be like, whoa, that's crazy. Wow, didn't see that coming. But listen, this is the thing. So let's get back to the topic again. Is like, what good is accomplishment if there's nobody there to see it? Just make sure when you're sort of like aiming for your accomplishment that you're doing it because you want to do it. Because it's important to you. It's meaningful to you. It's not about just pleasing the other person. It's why we do everything, but don't let it be that. Just don't let that, how many people are in jobs that they hate, but now they're satisfying the needs of their parents or their siblings, aunts, uncles, grandparents, someone. Now, oh, you happy now? You happy that I'm working at this job that I'm miserable at for the rest of my life because that's what you wanted, but you didn't think about what I wanted? Well, you know what I want? I want the self-actualization. I want to get to that point of creativity and start doing that. So what you have to do in that situation is no matter where you're at in your career, no matter where you're at with what job you're doing, what you have to do is just accept the fact and enjoy that you're at that job and this is where you are in your reality right now. And outside of that work, you're going to work on your own creative endeavors because this is just where things are right now, and I'm going to work towards this, and my goal is to get there, and I'm going to just keep sort of like moving forward, and I'm going to try this and I'm going to try that, and I'm just going to see where it takes me, and stop worrying so much about what the end result's going to be, because It's saying it doesn't matter is, I don't want to blow it off like it doesn't matter, it's meaningless. Of course it matters, you know. Again, you don't want to, but it doesn't matter in perspective of you, it's out of your control. So therefore it doesn't matter. You have no control over it. You don't know what's going to happen. You are projecting that within your head, within your mind, and telling yourself these stories of what the outcome's going to be, and that's putting the fear in your head, and now you don't even want to try, and now you don't even want to talk to someone about doing it, and now you're not you just go down this long road of just endless thought. Which is doing what for you? Well, I don't know. What's it doing for you? Is it making you happy? Do you need that for fulfillment in your life? Is that making you excited? Is that what you truly need? I bet not. I bet you truly don't need that. I bet you want a nice, calm mind. I bet you do. I bet you just kind of want to be nice, at ease, and on just a mellow point and just relaxed. I bet that's what you want. So you identify that's what you want and start to say is all this other stuff, you know, with my esteem needs, my belonging needs. Am I going to let other people's, things, affect me? So I was talking to my wife today and I said, it's kind of like we're like our own little house, right? We're our own little house, our own little building. What we're surrounded by in life is a bunch of little tornadoes. There's a bunch of little tornadoes trying to break down our house. What do you do if a tornado is coming towards your house? You get the hell out. You try to get to safety. So what do you do when you're put in a predicament of someone who's threatening to you and anything else? You try to get the hell out and get yourself to safety. What do you do if someone's coming onto you and they're attacking you verbally or anything else mentally? You try to get yourself out to safety. So every single scenario, you're trying to get yourself out into safety. So now what you really kind of want to do is there's going to be a lot of tornadoes out there, and some of them are in the distance. So there's people who bug the hell out of you and this and that and there, but I'll tolerate them. They're just kind of out there. And then you got more of the big hurricane, the big tornadoes, which are gaining speed and they're bigger, and those ones are more effective, and because they're affecting you and they're affecting your life, and just like, this drama, whatever it may be. And so what you got to do eventually is really the idea of self-actualization. And I was, been reading Maslow's stuff now and just listening to more videos, but it's very intelligent, the conversation. But the idea is what you want to do for self-actualization is you want to have those tornadoes just be like a force field, like the planet Earth that has this field that is stopping so many things so that we don't have acid rain hitting our head, so to speak, and that we have, or meteors every 2 seconds, we're going to just have this force field around us, and around our little force field is the tornadoes are out here all trying to get in, but we're just like, I don't need that trouble over there. I don't need to put myself in that situation, that one. You can, guys, keep on knocking, but you can't come in. And that's what you do, and you just become this strong sort of mold. You become this strong energy and this headstrong person who's just like, hey man, punches, so what? So what? Punches. So what? So what your job sucks right now? So what you got someone who's upset at you? What can you do to remedy that? What are things, again, it's not taking things lightly. I don't want people to misconceive what I'm just trying to say. There's a lot of people that I can't relate to because of a lot of greater situations. But I can tell you from the letters that I get from people, and I just received one today from a woman in Germany who wrote me just an amazing letter and talked about her struggles and her mother passing away and what she went through with that, but how she was able to come out of it, and through motivation and things being said that sort of led her on this path of making stuff happen and this new world of seeing things and excitement. Isn't that better to do that? I think so. So why not try? Just try. Try to block out the tornadoes around you. Try to build up your force field. Try to when you're trying to accomplish things, do it because you love it. You're mixing what you love and what you do for work together. Isn't that the dream? Isn't that the dream? Man, I love riding. I love, fishing. And now I'm going to go do fishing, and that's going to be my lifestyle. I want to be a basketball player. And speaking of, this young girl asked me at the convention, the ISCA convention I was at, and she said, tell me something. She said, don't you feel like what it's really like in the art business is that it's almost like trying to get into the NBA? There's a lot of people out there trying to get into the NBA, and only the few are going to break through. Don't you feel like it's that, trying to be a character designer in the industry and start doing that? Said, yeah, absolutely. Yes, it is. It's tough. It's going to be a lot. I mean, granted, personally, there's more people, more artists working in the profession than there are people working in the NBA, just, realistically. There are. So there's a lot of jobs, and it transitions into many different areas. You learn one craft and you get better at drawing, and you become the character designer, the storyboard artist, the script writer, the painter, the sculptor, you become the whatever it becomes. But every time, what's special is every time you're doing that, you're accomplishing growth within yourself, and that's moving you into that next direction anyway. You're going to get there. I think I lost my train of thought there. All right, listen. That's it. So make it a great week. Stay tuned. There's the video coming up if you want to see this awesome product by Echar that they sent me, this product. And I really enjoy it. Check it out. See if you like it. All right. Make it a great week. Take care. Okay, so I wanted to share with you guys something that I thought was cool and beneficial, and I was so grateful that a company had sent me this product to just try it and use it. And at first, I got it. I got what they were saying with it, but I'm just like, well, let me, be cool to, play around with it and see how it works. So I'm going to switch my thing around here. Hold on. How do you switch the... Oh, these phones. Where am I in technology? What? Okay. All right, so this product is called Echar, and it's made by echarlab.com. And what it is, it's almost like this sort of like, I'm going to demo it, but it's a tracing way just to be able to, instead of going digital, you use a digital product. And basically, you could use your iPhone or you could use your laptop, and it comes in this cool little box, and you hook it up, and then it just, whatever image you have in there, whether it's a photograph, an illustration you've done, whatever it is, then you just reflect it back down onto your artwork, your illustration, your paper. Maybe you've done a canvas and you've painted it. So you're getting a traditional drawing and copying, instead of having, it's like this mobile light table, I guess you would just say, that it's really cool. So anyway, I just kind of want to show you. It comes in this cool box, and it's, basically it comes in all the pieces. This is the part right here that I just sort of like put together, so that's going to hold it, and I'll show that in action. I'm going to keep sort of like cutting my camera here. And then it comes with this glass, this little cool little, it's not glass, it's some sort of, good plexi plastic. Comes with some paper, and then it comes with, just little instructions on, what, how to sort of like use it. So there's like a good example, it's sort of like showing you as you're doing that. But anyway, I'm going to show you, I'm going to try to switch to my iPad and see if I can make this work effectively for you guys. So where I found this useful was, at first I'm like, it sounds really cool, the product, but I'm not a painter myself. I mean, if you're painting, say you're doing watercolors or something, you could just put down on your, through your phone, say you have an image, and you can just project it straight on the watercolor paper, and then you can do your watercolor over that. And, just to get things the way you want it. But I thought, what would I use it for? And I was starting to mess around and I go, man, I am really loving this thing. So I have my PostBook 3D app open, and what I've done is with this, you can start to see, I've just kind of set it up, and what I did, this way it's like useful for me, like I tilted that head at an angle. You can't really see the angle. It's almost like an upward shot. And basically you come over here and you can see the reflection, and it was reflecting right on there, but of course underneath, right, there's sort of like nothing there. But what you end up doing, let me see if I can do this. I'm holding my iPad. Oh, okay, hold on. This is gonna be a little tricky, sort of bear with me here. Because I almost like gotta go high so you can see it. Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make this work. I gotta figure out something else here real quick because I only have 2 hands. Okay, I'm using all my muscles with my left hand. But basically what I'm doing, I can see everything underneath. You guys can't really see, but I'm just using this, say, as like a framework. So maybe I got to do a bunch of developments of like one head, and I do just kind of want to turn it up again. This is a great way to practice. Are you going to do this every single time? No, I just want to show you some cool little practice, you know, ways to do it. And basically, let me just fill up that line through there. And basically, oops, what you're sort of like seeing through here is me getting that tracing of that upward view. Now it was just getting a little bit sloppy, but now from there, I could come in and start designing, you know, a character. I'm just gonna move this around a bit. My apologies for this. I wish it was a lot smoother, but listen, this is what we do. We roll with the punches, and it is what it is, okay? So let me just do this again. I'm gonna just try to make this one a little bit more slower as I'm drawing. So basically what I'm doing right now, yeah, I'm tracing. And there is nothing wrong with tracing. If you've been taught that as a little kid, every teacher was wrong. You trace, you learn, you form habits, helps you understand things, you know, that you're working on and doing, okay? So now what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna move this away just to show you what I have here. Okay, so basically what I have here now let me pull this out. Say from I got that tilt, you know, that was the tilt that I was playing with. It was, you know, I can adjust any sort of lighting or anything that I want. When I'm messing with this, I can just rotate, you know, move all the lighting. But right now, based on this, I just want to go, you know, I wanted just to draw just a bunch of heads that were almost like tilted up. And then from here, I can almost just draw anything. You know, whatever I feel like I want that character to be. Maybe I'm going to put his mouth up here. Maybe it's going to be open just a little bit. Maybe his chin's going to pop out through there. Throw his ears in through there. Maybe this guy's got some big poofy hair. I don't know. You know, so you can start to build, and maybe this one I wanted to design just a whole different character. You know, maybe getting a little bit more of a female through here. And her head sort of like tilted up. Oops, my things fall in there. And then from here, I'm just, again, just sort of like, whatever. Play with this, whatever that may be. But it sort of like helped me in a sense, starting just to build and understand maybe framework, where instead of me looking at reference and having to copy it, just, you know, there's one thing where you're looking at reference and you're just looking at it and you're eyeballing it. That's one part of your training your muscle. That's one part of the growth in all of this, is just as you're doing this, what you want to do is just practice different, or always just practice different things, practice different ways of approaching things. And so I'm going to show you another way too. Like I'm going to put up, maybe you're going to grab a real person's head or something else. So let me cut back to that. Okay, so another cool thing is, say you just would take someone's photograph, like this is, you know, the actor Ben Still a bit. When you look at his face, it's interesting the way that his muzzle, his mouth, and his chin go off at that angle. Again, this is something where you can start just drawing and you're feeling it and you're working it. But when you're studying and you're really just trying to break things down, why not build up that structure and help you identify that structure. It's like when you drew the alphabet over and over again just to be able to understand cursive. That's the exact same thing you're doing. So then what I would do, you know, I take it and I'm going to just sort of like place it on there, and you can zoom in and out, you know, with the picture on it too. So that's going to depend on how big that you want to make the face. And then you can see again, it's sort of like reflecting right there. And then from here, what you know, you want to make sure that everything's on the same level. Again, this could be a painting surface. This could be a little sketchbook. It can be anything. And this is just when you don't want to do stuff digitally. You know, you don't have to do everything digitally, right? So you just kind of want to draw on paper, and maybe you want to draw something on canvas without, you know, just getting everything down there. You can get so creative. But anyway, so through here, what I'm looking at, I can see, I'm just going to look at this, and I'm looking at everything that's sort of like going on there. I'm interested to see, look at that, where that center line is through there that I could learn. Again, I'm just getting this sort of down. I love these sort of like tilts that are going on through there. I like how that shape kind of wraps around. I like that big shape. You know, I might not even end up drawing Ben Stiller at all, right? I'm just like fascinated with how things look here. And I'm sketching all that down, sort of just tracing it. Keep in mind, I'm holding a big iPad with my left hand and drawing with my right hand. I like that angle and the way things are going. So now, let's see what I even did here. I'm going to, hold on, I'm just going to move this. Okay. So what I left out, which I didn't get in there because, you know, but now I can look at the photo, is just getting that nose shape, you know, in there too. So now I just kind of got this interesting face, and I'm seeing the way that things are working to make this face a little bit more dynamic. And now I can, again, just maybe create any sort of character that I want to. Why not? Maybe I'm going to make his eyes bigger. I'm going to break his nose a bit. Have his mouth open through there. Start changing stuff around, you know. Let me see, I think I got both of these in here so you can see both of them. So I'm sort of like eyeballing back and forth if there's anything that I want to add, but it's just kind of cool. And then he's got all that crazy hair. Turned his eyes. Made his eyes darker through there. I could get that through there. But anyway, I think it sort of like adds to it. It's just kind of neat. And it's fun. I love having like just messing with pencil and original sort of stuff through there. I like the way that sort of frames his face. Anyway, good times. My iPad's getting very heavy. Anyway, I'm going to let this go now. But that's the product. Thanks to echarlabs.com to you guys for sending this to me. I think it's awesome. I love the product. I see it useful for me. Anyway, I hope you guys may find it useful for you. Enjoy. To subscribe to my mailing list and stay updated on future workshops and events, please go to my contact at silvertoons.com and simply hit join mailing list. Until the next time, make it a great week, and thank you for listening.